Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is for the Minister of Education and Early Childhood Development. Last night, the HRCE sent an email advising parents that negotiations had broken down with school support workers and that a strike could begin as early as next week. Parents are alarmed to read that this potential strike will close down pre-primary programs. As the minister stated yesterday, child care is not just needed before school starts. Parents need child care when they work. So I'm going to table that. Why would this minister rather let thousands of children and families go without these programs than pay these workers a fair wage?
The Honourable Minister of Education and Early Childhood Development.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to the member opposite for the question. So I think the member opposite and I would be in a complete agreement that the optimal and best answer to this issue is a negotiated agreement that ensures that our valuable and important CUPE workers in the education system, our bus drivers, our ECEs, our support workers, have the collective agreement and are at work. And so that is what we're optimistic about, and that's what we want to see happen. I'd like to say again, as I mentioned yesterday, we really value the collective bargaining process. We value these workers, and we firmly believe that they should have the opportunity to know what is in the offer before voting and making a decision on a strike. So we continue to be optimistic that a negotiated answer will keep these valuable employees at work. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member for Halifax Needham.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I don't know if the minister got the memo, but the negotiations have broken down. And there's going to be 20+ classrooms with no classes, with no kids in the classes, parents without childcare. So, Mr. Speaker, if this strike happens, it will be because this government is continuing to deny these workers a living wage. These wages have not kept up with inflation. Support workers' pay is now worth nearly 10% less than it was a decade ago. These workers play a crucial role in our province's schools, and yet this government refuses to treat this group with dignity and respect. To add further insult to injury, this government is already actively engaging in scab hiring. So this is now the third potential strike under this minister in the past 6 months.
Question,
Why
please.
wouldn't this minister pay education workers fair wages?
The Honourable Minister of Education and Early Childhood Development.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to the member opposite for the question. So I will say it would be completely irresponsible and inappropriate for regions not to make contingency planning. And so we see that happening. We see the regions doing the right thing and proactively communicating with families and making the contingency plans because that's the right thing to do. However, Mr. Speaker, we still remain optimistic. We still remain committed to the bargaining process. And with respect to the question of current wages, I would note, Mr. Speaker, that the current wages that exist, the inequities that exist across the province, the fact that we have people who work in pre-primary in Digby and Shelburne and Antigonish and Cape Breton all making different things, didn't happen under our watch, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we are committed to parity.